Woohoo! Celebrating card layout number 50 today. So here is the layout and here is the card. And here is everything that I have assembled in order to make this card. Not entirely sure, as usual, whether I am going to use all of it, but it all kind of works in with the design. So I could end up with one thing, I could end up with another. You've seen what I actually end up with, but here's how it all came about. So these papers are from the Perfect Moments pad by First Edition, and it's the 8x8 size. And because of that, I'm going to use one of the sheets as the actual card itself. So I just need to chop off 2 inches to give myself a 6x8 piece of cardstock, score it down the middle and fold it in half. And that's my card base, and it's a lovely one too, with a lovely subtle pattern and some texture. Okay, time to chop down a few of the bits and pieces that I will need. First, the long strip that's going to run down the left-hand side. Obviously, if you would like to grab this layout, please head over to the blog gentlemancrafter.com, where you can download not only this one, but all 50 of the layouts so far. Just die cutting this circle there that's going to go on the bottom left area of the card. And now for the sentiment. I decided to use the Here For You stamp, and I tried out a few of the different colours of ink on the white cardstock to see if they would stand out or contrast or even work with the colour scheme that's going on. Initially I thought I was going to go for this sort of dusky dark pink, but when I stamped it out I felt that it was just a bit too off. I'm not entirely sure if you agree. If you don't, or if you do, please feel free to leave a comment in the video. No, not in the video, below the video on YouTube. I decided in the end actually to go with this sort of mustardy camel colour, as I felt that it worked a bit better with the overall design. Trying to be a good boy and cleaning things up as I go, and heat setting that ink so that I don't smudge it. I did decide to use some of that dusky pink, not the really intense one that I stamped with, but one of the other ink pads, just to edge that circle to make it a little bit more standoutish. Blending it off with the ink tool to make it more subtle. And then using the bookbinding glue, as ever, to stick the elements to the card. The gridded ruler helps me make sure that at least one of the edges of that is going to be straight and look like I'm a professional or something. I don't know, how long have I been doing this? 20 odd years now? Can I even claim that yet? Okay, layering up the circle with some foam pads. And then time to chop down the sentiment. Sometimes I chop down the piece of card first, but I always worry that I won't get it straight or central. So I tend to put the sentiment onto a larger piece of card and then use my gridded ruler to help me get even white space, either top and bottom or left and right, and then I can crop it down with the trimmer and get decent corners, decent sides. Is that how you do it? Let me know if you've got any tips in the comments below the video. Now, although I had tried to get even spacing, I ended up just chopping it down with scissors. I mean, that's how it goes when you're crafting, isn't it? You set out with perfectionism as a goal, and then you end up with, that'll do. Okay, now for the embellishments. I decided to use paper punches today. I haven't used these in a while, and I don't always use paper punches much these days. Mostly reach for the dies. So I cropped out some bits from one of the papers that I'd already used, gave them a bit of shape with a shaping tool, and then I will go on to layer them up. I'm curious to know what you use for shaping flowers. I know a lot of people used to use foam pads. Some companies have brought out specific flower shaping mats. Some people use the palm of their hand. What do you use? Now for the centre of this flower, I wanted something big and bold, so I reached for the biggest self-adhesive gem that I could find. And then I started wrapping the petals around that to make it look like they were unfolding and revealing it. Sorry for the positioning, but there you go, there's the flower. Sort of like a cabbage rose, maybe? There's two words that don't belong together, cabbage and rose. Anyway. I felt that on its own was going to be a bit rubbish, so I started having a rummage through the dies, and I liked that grassy bit, so I chopped that out with the die cutting machine, and also thought I need something else, so I reached for this sprig die. Popped that through the die cutting machine and decided that I hated that grass, so didn't use it. Whilst the die cutting machine was doing its business, I added a little bit of bling with 3 crystals up the strip. Yes, that looks much better. So I'll just anchor it in one place. I wasn't too happy with the trailing bit, and for some reason decided to try and cut it while it was sticking in place. And then glued down the flower, but I felt that it was a bit lonely. So, after tidying up, because I was getting a bit cramped there, I decided to have a rummage through the dies and remembered the Distress Flowers set from Tim Holtz, which actually work with the Tim Holtz Distress Flower paper punches that I just used. So I selected a couple of those and went on to crop down some bits of paper from those that I'd already used. So actually some of the scraps that I'd cut off worked perfectly for this. Shoved them through the die cutting machine. Boink, there we go. And then, oh, I trailed off halfway through a sentence there, sorry. And then I gave them a little bit of shape in the palm of my hand, stuck them together, added a little gem, and then added them to the card. Can't actually remember if I told you the layout's available on the blog, but as ever, it is. I'm just stunned that I've made it to card layout number 50. I hope you've been enjoying them. If there's anything you'd like to see or anything you would like me to expand on during these videos, please feel free to comment below the video. There we go, number 50 done. Thanks for watching. That's it for this time. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And for more from me in the future, please remember to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.